Okay, so a lot of people have asked me what I've been up to in Southeast Asia for the past few months and how I did it, what I'm doing, what did I do to get there, how can someone find out more about it. So this is a video for you if you want to know more. If you don't, then fair enough, you've probably seen enough on my Instagram. Bollocks, you want to ignore that too. Since beginning of January, I've been teaching English in Hanoi, in Vietnam, which is in the far north of Vietnam. And Hanoi is a very busy city. I don't really know what to compare it to. It's crazy. You'll see someone, I don't know, getting their ear examined on one side of the road, and on the other side of the road there's a bike with 7 people on it, and it's crazy, it's eclectic, it's mental, but it's kind of amazing and really exciting to live in. So when I first moved there, we were all put in company accommodation together and made lots of friends. Everyone was really lovely, and the city became kind of ours. You know, we go to Hanoi FC football games and wear the shirts and do the chants and have a lot of fun. But Hanoi itself, the only problem with Hanoi is the air pollution. It's really, really, really bad. Like, really bad. I've had a couple of chest infections. Lots of my friends have had bronchitis or, just wheezy chest in general, just from the pollution alone, because they don't really have as many strict rules and regulations on what factories can pump out. And also the reliance on motorbikes and things means there's a lot of sulfur dioxide. So yeah, you can, if you go out for a walk in the streets and you're not wearing a mask, you can feel it. It's not the greatest. In terms of weather, Hanoi has pretty changeable weather. So when we arrived in January, it was 28 degrees. We were like, they told us we need jumpers and jackets and what a load of bollocks. And then I went through a phase of being quite cold, and we did need jumpers and scarves and jeans and stuff. So it's changeable, and also there can be, oh hello, my fake Chanel glasses, look, very Hanoi. It can be very changeable. So sometimes the kids get a lot of ear infections and stuff because it will be, really wet, then really cold, then really dry, then really hot, and it's just like blah, blah, blah. The pollution doesn't help that either. But you have some really hot spells as well. Like we had some days in May where we literally had to go to the pool. We the other weekend, one weekend, we literally were all like water buffaloes going to the pool, just being there like, because it was something ridiculous, like 40 something degrees, and we were just melting. Money. So in terms of money, in Vietnam they use the Vietnamese dong, which is quite a hilarious currency when you first arrive and you first get there. You're like, what? Because 1 million is 30 pounds. 1 million dong. So you kind of have to be careful, because it can seem in the beginning like you've got 500 notes, you're like, oh yeah, fuck it, it's only 15 quid, 500 note here, 500 note there. And then once you start getting paid and you start trying to pace yourself with money, you're like, oh, okay, need to sort this out. Teaching. So yes, I am a teacher in Hanoi. So what does that mean? So I teach in public schools. I teach English, so English is a language. I don't teach literature. Some people message me being a bit confused. So I teach classes varying from grades 1, who are 6 years old, up to grades 5. They can be like 9. Some of them are like 11 years old. Depends on like the schools. And yeah, they are learning English. So it depends on the level. Some syllabuses that we have to teach, different syllabuses. Some are better than others. So there's one that's run by National Geographic, which is incredible. Some of my 6-year-olds can say, teacher, I like orange juice. Amazing. And some of them are stuck with, rat and run and jump. They're like, bara, chow. And you're like, oh my God. So yeah, it just depends on the school, depends on the syllabus, depends on the attitude to English. Some schools are really, really focused on English. It's the main priority, and some of them are just sort of like, well, here comes the BME teacher again. So yeah, the language barrier. A lot of people have been like, how are you getting on with, the language difference? So we were encouraged to learn a bit of Vietnamese when we arrived, and I've learned a little bit, một chút Viet, a little bit of Vietnamese, which has been really, really useful, especially like I went up to teach for a week in Lang Son near China. I had to use my Vietnamese, and it was really, really good, especially with the kids. You know, you say colours, so a lot of them, they know the colours, but they don't know the question. You know, you say, what colour is this? They're like, what is she on about? Whereas if you say, you know, like mosey, which means colour, they go, purple, teacher. You know, like, okay, great, you got it. The kids themselves are absolutely a mixed bag, but they are all hilarious in their own way. Like, I have some classes where I literally go in and they're like, Carrie. I'm a grade 5, so chanting my name, and they've learnt a new word just to call their team name that word. That's how you have to control the classes, by like teams, because they're all in rows the tables don't move, chairs don't move, so you've got to kind of go with the flow. 4 rows of kids, you'd be like, right, what team are you? And they'll all be like, oh, team BTS, or team I love Spider-Man, or Pokemon, or, you know, whatever. So it's all good fun, and you control them with, well, not control them, sounds a bit like I control them, but you discipline the class with stars. So you'll put stars on the chart, take away stars, you know, Dan Biet Sao. They're like, no, my best stars. And it sounds like really easy to a lot of people. They're like, oh, cool, you just go in and you play ukulele and, you know, you mess around with the kids. Actually, it can be really, really hard work. A lot of people don't realise that sometimes you come back from an 8 lesson day and you're literally beaten. You're like, I've had some mental classes today, I've had a lot of trouble controlling the classes, or, you know, a lot of kids have, you know, learning difficulties or physical disabilities that make it quite difficult. They don't really have as much support as they should do for those children as well. So, you know, it can be tricky. Punishment in the schools. So yeah, this is a tricky topic for some people. So the kids that I teach, my classes, can be 50 kids strong, 56-year-olds or 59-year-olds, you know. So it's a bit ridiculous sometimes when there's you trying to teach them and the TA, you know, doesn't speak loads of English. So sometimes they do crack out the ruler, palm of the hand, slap the ruler, make them stand in the corner, put the hands in the air for the whole time. You know, kind of the kind of things that are illegal in this country now in the UK. But it's funny because it seems really barbaric and really cruel, but in reality, like, their parents a lot of the time would hit them at home and stuff, and probably hit them a lot harder. I've seen it happen, you know. So it's sort of you kind of get used to it, and I don't hit them personally, no way. The TA will step in and do that, but it's difficult because when they are being punished, you have to sort of, you can't be like, ooh, you know, because then the kids will see you and be like, oh, well, you're a wuss, or you don't agree with what she's doing, and there's a power imbalance. So you have to stand there and just sort of be like, and then carry on with your fun, happy lesson. So pay. So I as an intern, so that means like a starter teacher, I was paid not very much, but we got our accommodation and our taxis included in that. So it was about $9 an hour when you worked out at the end. But when you consider that your lunch will cost you, 40p. Once you go down to the tofu ladies, it'll be 15,000 for, some tofu. It'll be, 10,000 for a banh mi, which is ridiculous. It's like 40p, 30p, and you can get a coffee for under $1. It's like crazy cheap. So it's quite easy to get by on, money. And especially now when I go back, I'll be paid $22 an hour, which is £17.50 an hour. Which here is very good pay, but there is like, So a lot of people have asked me what it's like to live in a foreign country, kind of permanently, semi-permanently, because I feel like come home now to this. This feels like a holiday compared to what I've been doing. I've been working in Hanoi. I've not just been sort of fluffing about, traveling. So yeah, it's weird because for me personally, when I left the UK, I was really stressed out with doing a job that I didn't enjoy, and I was ready to do something that was worthwhile and fulfilling, and I got everything I wanted. Met amazing people there, loved the city, loved the culture, loved the people, loved my job, loved the food. I was just like, everything is fab. Like, I'm so lucky that everything's worked out really well. but it's, you know, it's not for everyone. A lot of people were getting homesick, a lot of people you know, didn't enjoy the difference in climate, difference in food, and you know, people do stare at you a lot as a white person, like singer, you know, they're calling you pretty, saying, you know, pretty white skin, but it can, you know, get some people down and make them feel like they're a bit of an alien, an odd box, and they don't fit in and stuff. So there's ups and downs. So yeah, traveling so fabulously. Traveling internally in Southeast Asia is so cheap. So when I finished teaching, I was like, why wouldn't I, you know, spend a bit of time and a bit of money traveling around, see what else is about. So I went through Cambodia for a month, solo traveling, which was the best decision I ever made. Going on your own, it seems daunting, and oh my god, what if I lose my bank card, there's no one around me, blah blah blah, to like help me. But honestly, there's always a way. And like, you meet so many people. If you're at a bar on your own, you're chilling with a group of people, you'd be like, hey, what's going on? I've done some mental stuff. Like, I went on I had sushi with this 50-year-old guy from Singapore after a tour. I've been on crazy bike journeys with people in Pai, you know, played ultimate frisbee with these Americans, and you know, it's like you just get introduced to a whole new social environment, social spectrum as someone on your own. And I think it's really, really important in building character as well. I feel totally like I don't have any anxiety anymore about what I'm doing, or you know, whether I'm doing enough, or people are looking at me, people know me, people don't know me. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I'm just me doing my thing, and I can do what I want to do. It's great. Safety. So a lot of people would assume that living in Hanoi, living in Vietnam, living anywhere in Southeast Asia would be a lot of people assume it'd be dangerous, you know, especially as a woman. People think, oh, you'll be vulnerable, or people want to, you know, marry you off or kidnap you already. Honestly, my personal experience has been totally positive. I have not had like in Hanoi, I've never had a bad experience with either the police or soldiers, or, you know, men in general. It's been completely kind of you know, I mean, you walk around in, like, I don't know, Plymouth or whatever at night in your, I don't know, going out clothes. There'll be someone who'll be like, all right, love, I wanna fucking, you know. That doesn't happen. Like, Vietnamese men don't do that. They might say, oh, I want to marry you, you know, but they don't want to, you know, it's not threatening, it's not aggressive, it's like kind of sweet and, I don't know, weird. Not to say that doesn't happen though, like, don't, you know, it happens everywhere in the world, you know, there's going to be someone who's taking advantage of someone somewhere. So, you know, do be careful. I'm not saying you can do anything you want, because it's still a communist country at the end of the day, and you know, there are people about who are not 100% safe in anywhere, but in London you don't feel safe 100% of the time, you know. So, but all I can say from my personal experience is that it has been absolutely fine, and I am alive and well. Here's a little video of me, little bumpkins. We're doing a little song, little dance, so see for yourself. So we babies like this song on the set. Vanilla.